What up, everyone? It's your boy, Tim Ali, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome you to another edition of your Daily Revolution. Today's topic: embrace the growing pains. It is worth it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. It's been amazing recently as I've got back into swimming and running. I'm normally a weightlifter, and I love to lift weights, and I can lift weights for 2 to 3 hours a day. But as I've gone back to the swimming pool and I've gone back to running, it is hard. In fact, it kind of sucks. I have all kinds of stories that I'm a 275-pound man. I'm not meant to swim and I'm not meant to run. But I know that those are just stories. Which takes me into the lesson of the day, which is about this thing called growing pains. Now, we hear this often. Oh, they're just growing pains. Well, what does that mean? I will tell you right now, if you are going to grow, if you are going to level up, aka make more money, also known as have a more intimate, powerful marriage, if you are going to live your life's purpose, if you are going to be a winner, let me tell you, it will hurt. It will suck. It is painful. Yes, there are growing pains. Yes, it's painful. And yes, it's not going to be easy, but here's why this is so significant for you. Recently, as I've looked into my businesses, I have this vision to impact the world, to touch marriages, to touch hearts, to lift hands, to lift and strengthen the weak knees, people who are going through challenges and adversities. That is my vision, that is my mission, that is my life's purpose, aside from being a 5-star daddy and a 5-star unicorn daddy. A group of my brothers inside of Man Wealth Ascension, it's the thing we talk about, being a unicorn daddy, and it's this inside conversation, which is amazing. So that's my vision, that's my mission, that's my purpose. And I am so clear about doing this now. What does this mean? In order to do that, in order to touch and move the world, in order to help people in their marriages, with their families, in their business, and helping them to rise up and live their purpose and their calling, to overcome the weak voices, the destructive, resistant, opposition voices. In order to do that, I have got to grow. Now, I don't have to. I don't have to grow, but if I don't grow, I'm not going to hit my targets and outcomes. I'm not going to live my purpose. And as I begin to grow, I begin to hire more people and I begin to spend more money. Yes, if you want to grow, if you want to have a greater purpose in life and produce a life that has tangible results, it will require you to, drumroll, grow. See, who I am today is not good enough to go build the company I want to build. So I must grow. In order for me to go run a marathon, I must grow. My capacity, my power, my skills, my lungs, my knees, I gotta grow. They've got to become stronger. If I'm going to be a powerful man and husband and father in my home, what got me here will not get me there. It will not work. Therefore, I must be willing to grow. And anytime you set out on a journey to grow, you will have this thing called growing pains. It hurts. It costs money. But as I mentioned in a previous podcast, you're going to pay it anyways. You're going to pay this thing regardless. The piper is going to get paid no matter what. So you can pay it now and go through the pain now, or you can go through the pain of regret. You know, there's a quote that says this. I don't know who says this, but it's powerful. There's the pain of discipline, and then there's the pain of regret. Satima is the pain of discipline. It's hard. It sucks. It's not fun. This is why Navy SEALs say, embrace the suck. Now, what does this mean for you? The lesson is this. If you want something that you currently do not have, if you truly want to have a life of real radical results, you, my friend, must learn to embrace the thing that sucks, and it will be painful, and it is worth it. Physically, I feel so much better when I do hard things, when I sweat, when I push, when I hit threshold. Today we did what's called a half Murph. You run a half mile, you do 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 150 air squats, and then you run a half mile. Because a full Murph is just double that, right? A mile, 100, 200, 300 a mile. And then I went and swam for about 20, 25 minutes. And it hurts. But this is the same thing inside of my marriage. I can either settle for a marriage that's just, blah, meh, get by. I can do that. And I believe most people do that. Not because they don't want a greater marriage. It's only because they don't know how. They don't know where to find the help. And they just think this is kind of how it's supposed to be. And the truth is, it doesn't have to be that way. Inside of your spirituality in life right now, what's the pain that you would have to pay? What's the discipline or the pain of discipline you would have to pay right now so that you could have the prize that you want? And finally, in the business realm, what would it take for you to grow? This doesn't necessarily mean more employees or more overhead. Oftentimes it simply means make a bigger impact. Less stress, perhaps more money, less hours. Perhaps it's more. That's going to be different for you, but you've got to ask yourself the question, what's the pain of discipline that I can pay right now? What's the suck that I can embrace? Am I willing to go through the growing pains? And I will tell you now that Satema is. Satema is absolutely willing to go through the growing pains. Why? Because it's worth it. Because the results are so worth it. I will not get to the end of my life and live a life of regret. So as you go through this growing pains, are you okay? If nothing changes in your world, are you going to be okay? Or do you know, I will pay the price now, I will embrace the suck now, I will go through growing pains right now so that I could have zero regret and a life that I truly love. Be willing to go through the growing pains, my friends. Be willing to do these things that most won't do so that you can live the life that most can only dream of living but will never live. It's time. And if this message resonates with you, www.prorevlive.com. ProRevLive.com. It's our Prosperity Revolution Live, and you will learn all of this and so much more. How to be more effective, how to get more leads for your business, how to be a more powerful leader, how to be the person who can truly relate with other people and live a life of purpose and power and results. Check it out, ProRevLive.com. And this is your boy Satema Ngali reminding you, if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, it's going to require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prize, promise signs, and your possibilities are waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. Will you join us? I'm out.
For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.